Over the last 30 years, we've seen a lot of advancement in the tool world, the tool industry, but it still feels like there's something missing. And I want to show you guys a picture. This is me when I'm 16 years old. I'm helping build a log house outside of Lansing, Michigan. Yep, even back then I had almost no style whatsoever. I come from 5 generations of tradespeople, and the one thing we always talk about is tools. The likes, dislikes, the struggles. And for the last 13 years, I've been making social media content and posting it online. And the one thing we're always talking about is tools. And I want you guys to know that I've been paying attention. I know that there's struggles still out there and there's things that could be done better. And even though we've seen all those advancements in the last 30 years, it still feels a lot like many of those tools are kind of designed and built in a vacuum, not really for the end user. Well, I wanted to fix that. So I started a real tool company called Swan Tool Group. And today I want to show you the first 9 products that we've developed that solve some of those issues. I think you're really going to like these. Why don't you stick around? I can't wait to hear your feedback. Before we jump into talking about all the things that these tools do, I want to talk a little bit about the process. It was a long one. Now, we started this just about a year ago, and we jumped into the design and the manufacturing a little over 6 months ago. And this was a process. Most of these started as sketches in notebooks or on a napkin. And then I made some 3D models in SketchUp, 3D printed some versions of them just so I could feel them in hand and get used to them. And these were not developed in a vacuum. We had top secret maker meetups here at the shop and got people to put their hands on these and try them and test them and give us their likes and dislikes. And then we took those likes and dislikes and we developed these tools even further. So we got real input, real feedback from real woodworkers of all different levels. Not only did I have top secret maker meetups here, but I have been listening to you guys for the last 13 years. And every time I've heard, I wish this tool did this, I paid attention. So these tools may look at first glance like some other tools, but they are wholly different. And a great tool experience starts with a great unboxing experience. All of our measuring tools come in a really nice iPhone style gift box. And inside you'll find that the tool is cut into a multicolored EVA. Now this can be pulled out of here and put in your toolbox. It'll keep your tool nice and safe for a very long time. That is so nice.
Swan Tool Group is transforming the way stuff gets done.
Huge thank you to Steve the Swan for the great introduction. This is the Ridgeway square, and it's 3 tools in one. It's a tri-square, it's a double square, and it has a really cool feature built into the handle which makes it an adjustable combination square. So you can lock that in anywhere between 0 and 45 degrees, and using the scale on the back of the handle, you can very accurately lock it into the angle that you want, which makes it a very nice general layout tool. And you don't need to have 3 squares sitting there. This handles all of those operations. Now there's some interesting technology built into the ruler of this as well. On one side you're going to see little cutaways on the side of the ruler, and we call that true mark technology. So typically during layout, when you want to be very accurate, you put a tick mark on a board, then you put your lead on the tick mark and move your square up to the lead in place before you make your mark. Now, you don't have to do that anymore. Just make your tick mark, move the edge of the ruler up to that tick mark, and then draw the line. That little cutaway removes the lead parallax or the pencil lead parallax. That's the distance between the ruler and the pencil lead. So now you can have really accurate results, removing that little nuance, that little irritation when you're doing layout. Next up, we have the Merlin, and the Merlin is really designed for building face frames and doing box and carcass work. And it looks suspiciously like most other double squares, but like the Ridgeway, it has some cool tricks up its sleeve. Metaphorical sleeve. Now, on the base of this, we do have a locking shelf pin that you can lock in place, and that works in both directions. Those shelf pins come in real handy when it comes to stability and accurate layout. Now, just like the Ridgeway, we have the TrueMark technology built into the ruler. Now, the Merlin does something that no other double square on the planet does. It lays perfectly flat. A couple of really nice things about that. First of all, you don't lose the capacity of your ruler. You can still use it like a ruler. It gives you a nice strong hold. But if you move it all the way to the right side, you end up with a right-sided frame square. If you move it to the left, you end up with a left-sided frame square. Now, frame squares are often used in cabinet and carcass work as well, but now you can do both of those things with just one square. The real advantage here is that you have a good line of sight to see if your boxes are square. It's not wobbling around. It sits really tight in the corners, and you can very visibly see the square of the work that you're doing. Meet the simple but mighty red tail offset. Now, this offset sets itself apart from other offsets with a couple unique features. Now, first of all, it works just like other offsets do. The ruler has the TrueMark technology built into it. But on the opposite side of the 90 degree, we have put 45s in there, which is great for small layout. On top of that, this does something other offsets don't do. It doesn't wrap around the ruler. So you still have access to your ruler to be used as a straight edge throughout its whole operation. And that comes in handy. This is the Red Tail Ruler expansion set, and it works with the last three tools we just looked at. It comes with a 4, 6, and 12-inch ruler, and is forward and backward compatible with everything that we're making in the Predator series. So not just these three tools, but the tools that are coming in the future. So you can have the tool you want and the size you want it in without having to break the bank. The Titan Double Protractor is the first of its kind, and this is a 5-in-1 tool. Stacking two protractors on top of each other and having a trunnion in them that lets them adjust tangentially makes this a very unique and fun to use tool. One of the first things that you'll notice is it has center finding capability. So any dowel up to 1 1/4 inch in diameter will work great for this, and also square stock up to 1 1/4 inch by 1 1/4 inch. The next thing it does is line marking, and it's Pica pencil friendly. Each one of those holes indicates a 1/2 inch increment. So in this position, you can do layout line marking from 1/2 inch to 2.5 inches. Now, if you look at the center of the top protractor, you'll see some markings there as well. Up there, you can lay out 1/4 inch increments, and they all correspond with the outside hole. Now, the other thing that's really unique about this, because of the size of those holes, it's really easy to just make a mark anywhere in the board up to 2.5 inches and align it with it. So that's a really nice feature. And of course, it's an angle square. So you can adjust this anywhere from 0 to 140 degrees when the thumb screw is in the outside position. Another nice advantage of the Titan is it works for both left-handed and right-handed people. Just move the thumb screw to the opposite side. It'll work for whatever you need. So to recap, this is a protractor. It's a center finder, an angle square, a line marking tool, and a safety ruler, all built into one tool. This is the Firehawk trim square, and like the other tools, it does a lot of different things and has some cool features. One of the things that makes it really unique is the fence on the square has a slant on it, so it will lay flat on surfaces, which means you can use the fence or the handle to do really crisp line marking and very accurate line marking, unlike other squares when it's laying down, it's kind of up in the air. Now, the fence has a couple of slots in it that is designed to accept the Firehawk depth stop. Now, that depth stop comes in really handy for setting blade heights on table saws or on your trim routers. It's also really nice for setting distances from blades like on your table saw or bandsaw. It's also really handy for remembering those distances if you have to move your fence for some reason and bring it back to a really accurate position. And if you look really closely, on the depth stop, there's a hole in there that a Pica pencil fits in. This turns the Firehawk trim square into a scribe and has lots of uses when it comes to cabinet making or chair making or other places. We do sell the Falcon depth stop separately, and the reason we do that is it's designed to work on 90% of the rafter squares, speed squares, or carpenter squares, whatever you want to call them, out there on the market. So you can still get all that function on the square that you already use. These 7 tools are the first in the Predator series lineup, each one of them named after a bird of prey. Now there's definitely more coming, and each of those tools is going to have the same level of efficiency built into each one of these products. These tools are designed to minimize the trips back and forth to the toolbox and keep the clutter off your bench or out of your work pouch. Next up, I want to show you the all-new vac plates and vac pucks. So these are some things we've been making here in-house. These are our vac pucks and our vac plates. The vac plate turns the Grabo into a really powerful portable vacuum pump, and the vac plates are great at holding stuff down. Well, we've got some all new ones that are being manufactured professionally, and they have some new tricks that I can't wait to show you. But before we jump into this, I want to talk about our patent strategy a little bit, and why that's important is because these days more and more there's companies out there that are just willing to rip you off. We've gotten very aggressive with our patent strategy and how we're protecting all of our stuff. So everything that you're seeing today is patent pending, and we're moving forward with full global patents. That left a bad taste in my mouth, but unfortunately it was necessary. So the new vac plates, this turns the Grabo, any one of the Grabos. So the Grabo Pro, the Nemo Classic, the new Grabos that are coming, and the DeWalt into a powerful vacuum pump. Now it's got quick clips on the side and a strap that holds everything in place so you can take it on and off rapidly. On the bottom, you're going to see some mounting structure right here. Now we're already working on products that mount to this, that expand the use of the vac plate and the Grabo to do some really interesting things. For instance, we have the reach system, which we're already working on. It attaches to the bottom here and it keeps the Grabo up at the top, giving you function and hand control right here at the top. This makes the reach adjustable, so you can move it from anywhere from like 18 inches all the way up to like 32 inches. So you can have it the height you want, and the plates on the bottom will come in different sizes, making it very handy for moving all kinds of different material around without having to bend over. Now, we also have some other sneaky plans with that mounting system, and we'll be showing you more about that in the future. I'm very proud of this product right here. Now, if you're portable and going to job sites and you want to use vacuum puck technology for vacuum work holding, which is becoming more and more prevalent these days, you can use the vacuum pucks with the vacuum plate and Grabo and have a very portable solution. In the shop, we use a vacuum pump, and that vacuum pump is really powerful and very quiet. Now, our vacuum pucks, which we sell in sets with a handle, I'll explain that one in a minute, work on MFT tables. The hole positions here and here align perfectly with the dog holes in an MFT table. So just throw on some expanding dogs and you can lock these down anywhere on the table that you want them. Now the real advantage to having an inch of clearance here is if you're routing thinner material or you're cutting something with your saw, this gives you the clearance to protect your tabletop surface. Now, another real advantage here is it comes with T-Track hardware, so you can slide these on the face of MFT tables or on any T-Track system that you have into your bench already, making it a quick, easy on and off solution. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit about these today, but I'm not going to jump too deep into the wood because we really need to do a full video about some really cool applications for this technology. But I will show you a couple of quick tricks, including the safest way on the planet to do router templating. I have these pucks right here attached to a vacuum pump in the other room, and I use this little remote right here, so it's super quiet. Listen to this. Pretty cool, right? Now, I've taken my template, and it doesn't have to be acrylic. It could be plywood, MDF, but if you're using MDF, make sure you're putting a coat of finish on it to make it less permeable, because air does move through MDF. I've added some window seal. I bought this from Home Depot for like $5 for like 30 feet of it. And I've added that to the template. Now I'm going to take my Adirondack chair arm that's already been roughed out, put it on top of my template, not on the bottom, but on top, and add it to that system, and it will vacuum down to this instantly. So no tape, no weird clamping or gluing scenarios, and I'm instantly affixing my template to my part. Now, obviously I've got one in the way right here because we use two of them a lot, so I would have to move this one if I wanted to do the full system. But now I just take my flush trim bit, I ride it on there, and I can go all the way around and flush trim my pattern with a router on the top of the material and the template on the bottom, giving you a lot of control and maximizing the safety that you need. So in this case, you wouldn't even need a router table to do it. Now, if you're more of the traditionalist and you like the router table, that's where the handle comes in. You can turn this over, grab your vac puck, turn it over, and these handles pop right in the top. So now you've got a handle on your vacuum puck. Now I just take my template that has the windowsill on it, add it to the top. Now in this case, we have two positions on these pucks. You can have the air coming here or here. So I moved it to the top position. I put that over my hole, turn it on. And just like that, I have my templated vacuum to my workpiece. I've got a place to get my hands up away from the router bit so I'm not holding the edge of it, and I can run that through my router. Now these two hole positions have another use when you're using it like this. Let me show you that. I can add these aftermarket handles to right here, this giving me much more control throughout the whole process. Now just like that, I have a really safe and secure way to run my templates through the router table without ever worrying about kickback or my fingers getting caught up in the blade. Now the other nice advantage to this is there's no reason you need to be doing it for just template routing. You can vacuum down to your work, whether you're doing cutting boards or pretty much anything else that will fit within the framework of the vacuum pucks, and you've got your hands up and away from router bits. So no more worried about getting your fingers caught up in those router bits. And with these two handles on the side and the center handle, you have lots of control. The only thing that you really need to do is make sure that you have your air hose up above the surface so it doesn't get caught up in your bit. And you've got a new level of safety when it comes to routing. So that's it. Those are the 9 products that we're launching Swan Tool Group with, and we have a lot more coming. I hope that you enjoyed this video and you see the value in building all the function into each of these tools, reducing your workflow, reducing the amount of trips you have to take back, and messy benches, and having more function built into your tools. Another thing I'd like to mention is that these tools will be available globally. We're already talking distributors in Australia, Canada, the UK, EU, Netherlands, Germany, and all the measuring tools will be available in metric over there as early as the beginning of next year. Now, these are available right now for special orders. So if you go to the website, you can order them now, and the measuring tools will ship out at the end of December, and the air tools sometime in the middle of January. So you can have these things right up front. Now, I know this sounds salesy and I don't mean it to, but we were only able to order a limited quantity of each of these tools. So if you want to be one of the first ones to get your hands on it, now's the time. Now, while these tools are available in special order, there is a 10% off discount for signing up for our newsletter. I'm not good at this salesy stuff, but it's important that I let you know. I want to make you guys a promise. Any tool that comes out of Swan Tool Group will be designed by me or by the Swan Tool Group team or partners. We will not rebrand anything. We will not go out and rip off ideas from other companies. Our core tenets is integrity and giving you guys the best deal we possibly can with the most functional tools that we can possibly design for you. Now that said, I really appreciate the time that you spent with us watching this video and seeing these new tools, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.